Hello everyone. Welcome to Stamping Flair. My name's Rochelle Lloyd-Smith. Thanks for joining me today for our weekly creative escape. I hope you've had a good day and enjoying your week. And it's going well for you. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, so thanks for joining me. And I'll give you a few seconds and then we'll get onto our card today. I'm creating with Gilded Leafing. Let me know if you have played with this product before. It's an embellishment in our range. So it's been, we've had it a few years now, and you can do different types of things with it, but I thought I might pull it out. I haven't played with it in a while, so it would be nice to play with it today. So Gilded Leafing actually comes in a little tub. I have emptied it out into a big box, so it's easier to work with, and you will find out why. If you haven't seen it before, you will find out why when I show it to you. Give me one moment. I'm just making sure I'm in the right place where I'm meant to be. Please say hi to me if you're watching me right now. If you're watching the replay, just let me know, and let me know where you're watching from. I always appreciate the chat and appreciate your support as you watch with me. So I am actually playing with the stamp set that came with the Gilded Leafing. It's called the Art Gallery stamp set. You may have it, you may not have it. So when we first had this in the catalog, this is a two-step stamping set. So the suite, maybe what I think of it, it came with some other products. But this particular stamp set, the Gilded Leafing was part of that suite. That's how it was. And you stamp the full image and then the outline image with that. It is a photopolymer stamp set, so it's clear stamps. And we'll be creating with this today. I am actually using a color palette. If you've seen yesterday, I posted our weekly color palette. I've been, over the last few weeks, I've been showing you a color palette which I've created. And I put up my color palette or yesterday, Tuesday. I'm getting mixed up with the dates. And it was Night of Navy, Orchid, Oasis, Mango Melody, Cajun, Craze, and Soft Succulent. So those are the colors we are going to work with. These, let me try and get them all within shot. There, so you can see it. That's a better. It's hard to get it, like I'm trying to make it look right so you can see it. And looking at it through the camera, it's completely different, like it's on a different angle. So that's it. Those are the colors we're using today. So let's get to it. And yeah, I will show you where this is also in the catalog, so if you want to check it out. So this is in the big catalog. So it's our annual catalog, and it's on page 39. Let me just bring that up there so you can see page 39. And that's where you will find this. So in our catalog, our stamps are always shown at the actual size unless it is otherwise specified. And it's very rare that it's something else, and it'll always say. So when you put the actual stamp on it, it's the right size. So it's easy for you. It makes it easy for you to gauge if you're after a particular stamp or a particular sentiment to fit something. You will know where what works. And it's easy for you to have a look at what fits. All right, so you can see the card we're going to make with the Gilded Leafing there. You can see, and I'm going to show you how to do that, and how to get those variations in color and a bit of fun there. So to get my bits and pieces, it's really pretty, the Gilded Leafing. So because it's a photopolymer stamp, get yourself a piercing mat to give you some sponginess. Or if you don't have one, maybe just like a mouse pad or something for now. This just is a bit thicker than a mouse pad, but whatever you've got to just give a bit of a spongy feel to it. I've already pre-mounted my stamps. So this is the full image, and I'm going to stamp that in Mango Melody. I'm going in like this. So we'll stamp that image, and I'm going to give it a little bit of extra here just because I think my ink pad's not quite dark enough. That's pretty good. Then I'm going to get my Cajun Craze and go over that. Oops. So get your head over it. I'm trying not to, just so I don't block your view. But it helps if you can. And if this doesn't work, I'm going to go with the top image first. I'm actually standing up to try and get this right. Only because I'm trying not to block this view. That's not too bad, but I'm going to try it the other way. This way also sometimes works better. You stamp that image first and then go in with your Mango Melody. And sometimes I find doing the outline image gives you a bit more clarity when you kind of don't know where to go with it. And you may see what I mean when I do this, right? So that's a little bit better, a touch better. But it's that type of an image. It's not too, it gives that nice look. Now I've got a little stamp here. Now it's meant to be like a little bunch of flowers, but I added it in the center to give a bit of extra definition and more color. Right, so it just brightens that up in the center. I'm going to bring in a bit more paper and we'll stamp our leaves at the same time. And I'm just using soft succulent for that. Let me know in the comments if you have used the Gilded Leafing. If you have used it, how have you used it? Do you use it much? Or like me, have you not used it in a while? So soft succulent. Oh, I might need a bigger piece. I was trying. Let me get another piece. Soft succulent is one of our in colors from 2021, and it will leave us this year on the 1st of May. We'll have to say goodbye to soft succulent. I'm just hoping this fits. This is one of my favorite in colors. We've had the greens. It's funny. I'm not generally a green in like the greens, but last year Just Jade I was missing it, and this year I'm gonna miss the soft succulent. Love it. So we have dies for this, and we've got dies for the flowers as well. There's also a die for this flower bunch here, right? And then there's a die that cuts out the words just wanted to say. It can say, I miss you, happy birthday, congratulations, good luck, and all those sentiments, so you can mix and match a bit. All right. So that cuts out beautifully like that. Nice and easy for us. I'm going to do some work on that background too, so you're going to want to hang around. And I'm going to give you some fun tips with that. Please ask me any questions you may have. If anything's not clear or you just need some clarification on anything, don't hesitate to ask me any questions. If you are watching this on YouTube, please give it a like if you like it, and make sure you subscribe to my channel as well. So when I do put anything up directly to YouTube, you will get notifications, and that way you can keep on top of any new videos that go up. I don't know, I'm just a little bit off screen there, sorry. I'm actually looking for some washi tape. I'll use this because there's, you know, you have heaps of rolls under the desk in a tub, but I'm just going to go with this for now. It's just enough. Love that soft succulent, so nice. So on the 30th, which is next Thursday, we will be announcing, as demonstrators, we get to see the new catalog online, plus retiring list will come out. Now, when that retiring list comes out, you will be certain to see that the what do you call, the in colors will be there. They'll be going, and we are also having a color refresh, so we will have an idea what colors are going. So you want to hop onto anything you really like in those colors. Just there are some of my favorites that I really love. I posted in my team today, so what colors don't you really want to go? And I had to think. I really love mint macaron, and I'll be a bit sad if that goes. I don't know what's going, but mint macaron, coastal cabana is probably some of my favorites, and I'll be a little bit sad if they go. Have you got some favorite Stampin' colors that you'd hate to see go? So we've got our leaves and the flower ready to go. Now we are going to bring in a mat. This is Orchid Oasis. So if you weren't with me at the start, I am going with my color palette, which I put up for my chat. Every week I put a new color palette up. And this time we had Orchid Oasis in that color palette. If you have missed it, go on to Facebook, which you might be on, or check out my Facebook page. Go and check it out and see the inspiration photo, and you will see the colors there. So it was Orchid Oasis, Night of Navy, Soft Succulent, Cajun, Craze, and Mango Melody. So I've got an Orchid Oasis layer with the Night of Navy ink. So I'm going to take Night of Navy, and I'm going to bring a blue blending brush. So I'm going to ink that up. I'm going to ink, just blend Night of Navy here. Right down that Orchid Oasis panel. Just start off light, blend well. I always say just work it in. Don't just watch it on if you can help it. Just as you work it, it'll blend nicely. Our blending brushes are really soft and actually feel really like if you put it on your face, it's really nice. So I'm just going light touch. You can, as you go a bit darker, you can put a bit of extra pressure. Just move it upwards. Bring it up the sides. And I'm bringing it up the sides there. Can you see the slight change in that piece of cardstock? Just very slight, but with the Night of Navy added to it. Now, if you'll see, I'm going to cover a lot of this, but it's just the preparation that I do a lot of the time. And sometimes you do need to prep your bases, and just depends what you're doing. And even though I'll cover it, it still adds a lot to a card when you do this. That whole bottom section is probably going to get covered, but I need that blending so that it blends out, that gives that dark to lightness, and you need that to work like that. All right, so next I'll put that aside for a sec. I have got a whole lot of card scraps. This is Night of Navy. These are cut at 1.5 centimeters. So you can cut at whatever width you've gone. Don't cut into new cardstock. Just use up your scraps. And I'm going to use some glue. And all I'm doing, is we're going to cut that at an angle. And I'm going to stick this down. So you can see some of this is going to be covered up. I'll put it down. Just need to flatten out that, oops. Because I've cut it on that side, so I just want to get rid of that ridge. So then I'm going to go through and just cut extra, and then I can trim off it perfectly. Again, same sort of angle and butt it right up, and it's just going to be uneven edges, like uneven heights, I should say, not edges. So then we're going to do that. Then I'll bring in another piece. And this is a great way to use up your scraps. I was inspired with this by a card I saw very nice Shapiro do. And she had done something different, but I just liked how she'd done this angled bits. Wrong way, wrong way. Is that right? Yeah, let's see, I've got it. I wanted it the other way. I'm going to take that off because I wanted it going one way. That's not going to be able to be seen, so we can fix that up. And that's going to go on another layer. It wouldn't have matched. You can put it on whatever. It couldn't put different angles, but I wanted it this angle. And no one would know. All right, next one. A shorter one maybe. All right. Okay, you see how this is going? We're just creating. Then I'm going back up. So whatever heights and things you want. And then we'll go back and cut all the edges off. All right. And one little bit there. Just for that corner. So now I'll bring in my bone folder and give it a good press so that it's nicely stuck on. I want the edges stuck on. Then I'm going to go in and cut all those edges off. You can use a trimmer. I just go with my scissors because it's a bit sticky. I'm a bit worried it'll get stuck to the trimmer. If you leave it to dry, it'll be fine. But if it gets stuck to the trimmer, then you might lose. It might move the pieces. That's why I'm not doing it on the trimmer at the moment. But once it dries, it'll be fine. Make sure that's stuck on well. If you're not a subscriber to my newsletter, make sure you subscribe. I do include a tutorial every week there. So, and there's lots of fun I include. Last week we had a bit of a game in there. So always good to, you never know what you're going to get in there. It's a bit of a surprise package. All right, so that's what we've got so far. Now I'm going to bring in Night of Navy again and going to do some blending over that Night of Navy. So there's continuity in our coloring. So yes, I did color that before, but it's going to add just more depth. It's tone on tone now, coloring. And you will see change in that, even though it's exactly the same color, but I'm going to go up that side so it falls in right. If you look, can you see that darker color, the depth there? Okay. Now it's time for the fun of Gilded Leafing. So you do need, with Gilded Leafing, you do need Versamark. You can use for the glue. There's different ways to do it. The way I'm doing it today for this technique, I'm using Versamark and heat and stick powder. And I'm also using our embossing additions toolkit, and you will need a heat gun. There's other ways to use it with glue. You can stick it. But this is the way I'm doing it, because if you're using heat and stick powder, you do need the heat gun to heat it, right? So that's where the heat and stick comes from. So basically, our heat and stick powder works is wherever you apply it and heat it, it'll be sticky. So I have got a very gunky kind of Versamark. I have got a good Versamark. If you have been watching me a while, you'll know I have a good one and a gunky one, a couple of gunky ones. So this I'm using because when I apply it onto this inky blue, it's probably going to pick up some of that color. And I'm not too finicky with my ink pads, but if I can save it, I'll try. So I am just taking my ink pad and just running the edge along there. Just very, very lightly. I've seen a bit of that come off, so I will go back and stick it. But for now, so just roughly, I'm just using the edge. You can switch it around because then you get the glue. Because Versamark is a gluey ink pad, so it's clear. It might be difficult to see. Yeah, it's a bit tricky to see the gluiness of it. But now I'll bring in my heat and stick powder. And we're going to put it on this. Right. So heat and stick powder comes in a little tub like our embossing powders do. Now, if I want a bit of a jagged edge on this, see, some of it may be too straight or anything like that, I'll get rid of anything like that. Not that I don't mind the little bits of speckle, because wherever I am putting this, there's going to be glue. I will just give it a bit of a rough up with my brush, so it's not too straight, and so you can manipulate it like that. Just taking a bit of excess of that heat and stick out. Now we'll bring in our heat gun. When you heat this, just heat it just enough to get it tacky. Don't overheat it. So we're gonna heat our heat gun first, get it nice and hot on setting 2 for about 15 seconds. Then when you start heating it, just get it just hot enough. And my heat gun is not plugged in, I think. Oh, yes, it is. So I'm just going to let it heat so it's ready to go. You will be able to see it change. Can you see that? So it's melting. So to touch, it will be tacky. I'm just going to go very lightly. It's very light tackiness. And now I'm bringing in my Gilded Leafing. When Gilded Leafing comes in a small tub, but when it like expands, so I'll just put it in this massive container, not massive, but a big container I just got from one of the supermarkets or Kmart or something like that. It's just a take-out container. So then it'll stick to where you've got it. And I've got a brush purely for my Gilded Leafing. And I will pat it down. I make sure I pat it down so it's sticking onto where I put that Versamark and the heat and stick powder. whatever you do, don't sneeze on this Gilded Leafing. It'll go everywhere. Or breathe heavily. It just expands and flies away. Then I find it better than to just get my fingers and give it a press. Right? Then you can see it flattening. And yeah, it's going to get on your fingers and whatnot, but it's not messy. It's just got a bit of flakiness. By having the larger container, it just I'm able to save more of it. If you have a smaller container, it's harder to contain, or it's harder to keep it in one place. So working it with your fingers gives you a smoother, for this purpose, gives you a smoother result. And then you don't have so many flyaways, kind of. Now you can do this with, if you wanted to put one strip of tear and tape, double-sided tape, and then put Gilded Leafing, you can. You can use liquid glue and put your Gilded Leafing. You can do that as well. So it just depends what you're doing, what project, what style of project you're doing. So that's a nice, and those little speckles are nice. If it sticks on, it sticks on. It just lends itself to that, to my card. So I'm quite happy with that. I had this sitting in here and it went everywhere over the brush, so I'm going to put it away. Now I'll cover this up. And I've had this from like now probably 3 years or something since we've had it. It lasts forever. I'll put this back. So this is heat and stick powder. So even this, you don't need, like once you have it for a long, long time. Next we'll do a sentiment. Oh yeah. Okay, let's get that. And we'll use Night of Navy again. And I've kept with the same stamp set because it's a good stamp set. It's got a lot of sentiments, so I really didn't need to go searching anywhere else. Like you can pick anything you like. I've just gone with Best Wishes there. It's if you want sentiments, that's a good one. I've used it like several times with other projects as well. So if I need a sentiment, it's like one of my go-tos for sentiments. So I'm just going with Best Wishes. And the coordinating dies. So this is, I don't think, no, it's no longer a bundle because it's an older set. So when stamps and dies come out together, or the punches, they initially come out as bundles. So then you save 10%, but this is no longer a bundle, but you can still get it. And so it's got this little, there's a small one like this, and there's a larger one that cuts out this color little rectangle for your sentiment. So if you want to play along with those colors, create something and just share your photo in the comments of that under the photo. I'd love to see what you make with those colors. You can create anything, whatever you like with your stamp sets. Okay, I'll just show you that. See on that die, it's sometimes I find dies can give you that little like funny depends on the die. It gives you a bit of a mark in the middle. I just go in and just smooth it out with my bone folder, and it works. Sometimes having your piercing mat 2 under will help smooth that out a bit better. It's just how the die is, and it just eases that up a bit so it's not so prominent, so you can't see it as much. All right, now for we'll put some dimensionals on these. I'm just going to use the corner bits. Get some dimensionals on our flower. And the leaves. And so I'm gonna put the flower down first. I remember once Cassidy bought like a gold leaf for cake, and she said she surprised me for Mother's Day. I think it was, she made a cake, and it just disappeared so quickly when she was working with it. She said, "Mom, every time I did something, it just disappeared." That's how it is when you touch that gold leafing. So that's why I like putting it in that big container. Helps so it doesn't disappear. Okay. And then I'm going to put that there. And I've got some embellishments as well, but what I'm going to do is layer it onto, I'm doing some layering. We'll layer it onto a Cajun Craze mat, which will pick up on the Cajun Craze in the flower. Do you use Cajun Craze much? I like that color. I think it's one of those colors that could be forgotten sometimes, but it's a nice rich color. And then for my card base, I've taken up Orchid Oasis again. So just bring it out again. I'm going to work on the inside of the card quickly, and we can then do some embellishing for the outside. So I think I'll just put the flower like we did before. So let's do how we did it backwards. I've got that, and we've got that. Okay. And an envelope. So this is I haven't used designer series papers on this, which is unusual. I always use designer series paper, but that's a way to use backgrounds. That's the like create backgrounds. That's the way to use your not designer series paper, your scrap cardstock. It's a fun way to do. You can create one with pastel colors. You just try different things. Oops. Anything goes here, really, doesn't it? No one's gonna know. Right. Oops. Let's do that again. Obviously, have I got it on my hand? Probably. That's the good thing. You can restamp it. Stamping's quick. Alright, we can now put that inside our card. Not before though. I want to put some of our ink blending here. Let's do some of this Night of Navy just around it so it ties it in a bit. So I'm really going to get it like the start off the page. And just a little bit. So some continuity. I've just gone very lightly here. You can do more depth on it. That could have been better blended, but it will be fine. All right. So for my embellishment, I've got little butterflies. These are the brushed brass butterflies. Tongue twister, but yeah, that's what they are. So I've got two. They come in. They're self-adhesive, so you get the large and a small in a pack. I think I don't know how many there. There's heaps. So that they're very cute. Okay, so our card's done. I hope you like that. Little look at Gilded Leafing today. Give it a try if you haven't tried it before. It's lots of fun and it does last you for ages and ages. It's great on Christmas cards and things because It just gives you that nice bit of gold to snazz up your projects. Let me know what you think in the comments. And you can purchase these in my online store or by getting in touch with me on the number listed, or email me for any information. Sorry, I have just noticed the comments. Hey Bex, sorry. It's that blue paper pieces. It is Night of Navy cardstock. brush. Yes, yeah. I still can't say the brass butterflies fast. It's a bit of a tongue twister. Sorry, I have just seen the comments. I was looking for comments, and so it's just come up. I apologize. Yes, I give Gilded Leafing a try. Don't forget about it, like I did. So I thought I'll try it out today. Thanks for joining me, and let me get back my face so you can see me. And I look forward to catching up with you next week, guys. Have a great week. See you. Bye.